What's up, guys? If you just came to my channel, I'm Jason at MTB Yum Yum. Mostly do bike reviews, but every once in a while we get a piece of gear that's worth doing a video on. In this case, it's the new Shimano XTR 12-speed. Pretty sweet new stuff. I've been riding it for the last couple weeks. I got it from my guys over at Salt Cycles in Sandy, Utah. So if you're local, give Chris a call. He can put this on your bike. You can take it out for a spin. That's not true. He can't do that. Why did I say that? Sometimes when I'm riding, I just say stuff. It doesn't make any sense. If you want to buy it, head over there to Salt Cycles. Oh, hell, I just ruined all my footage. We're on a bit of a climb, and first thing I can tell you about this 12-speed XTRs, the trigger on the shifter is really light compared to my SRAM XX1 Eagle shifter. Every once in a while I'll accidentally grab 2 gears just by pushing it in a little too far. It's not a big deal. In fact, it's kind of nice sometimes, but I've done it on accident a handful of times. Yeah, this is a bit of a climb. And anyway, not a big deal. I'm sure it's something I get used to the more I ride it. In terms of range, I would say it has a real similar feel and range as Eagle. Shimano's just a little later to the party on this one with 12 speed. Feels good. I've never had any complaints with XTR or XT. I just preferred the Eagle for its range. I guess in terms of things that are notable, it's not as clicky feeling as SRAM. You know, SRAM has that real click. And you know, this has got a pretty good click, but you know, after you click the easier gear, you can feel it have some more distance, some more reach that it goes. Oh boy. See right there, I just grabbed a couple gears. It's actually kind of nice because you got to get on this climb. And that's the other thing, when you have to switch gears in the middle of your pedal stroke, that's where I feel like it does a lot better. Yeah, so if you're in a faster gear coming down a section, that section's kind of janky up there too, that you're kind of coming through. You're in a heavy gear, but then there's a little techie section right before, about 30 yards, about 15 yards before, a kind of short but steep climb right there. That's where if there is a difference between the Eagle and you know, this 12-speed XTR, I think this might shift just a little bit better under like a lot of heavy load coming up. So ideally you shift into the appropriate gear for the given climb before you're actually on the hill. But as you guys all know, that's not always the case. That's just not always the case. Sometimes you get stuck in a bad gear, or the terrain just puts you in a position where you need that heavy gear just before then to kind of get through that janky section right up there in front of us, right down here before the wash. And you know, it might be worth walking this section actually. And this is a great little test section for this group set as well. You got good traction through all these rocky areas here. But, okay, so coming into that little climb, you kind of got this little janky section right here. And, you know, probably doesn't look like much on the GoPro. And it really, it's not a ton, but let me just show you what we've got here. So you got this little janky section coming in right before the actual climb. And just for scale, you know, there's my Camelback for scale. So you're coming through this stuff, so you need to carry some speed through this because pedaling is not ideal. And you're coming in with some speed, right? Come down here into the wash. And then right through the wash, you've got quite a bit of speed, but now you need a climbing gear. So we've got to climb up this. So you have to start shifting while you're pedaling almost. Like there's not a lot of time between this section right here and that section right there to grab the appropriate gear, especially if you're going from down in your speedy gears up to a 46. You want to get up there, you don't have a lot of time. So sometimes you're shifting through this section right here. And again, you got a couple little ledges here you got to get up, so you need to have the right gear. I feel like that XTR 12-speed probably shifts through my pedaling a little better. And again, ideally, you found the right gear before you get onto this stuff, onto this climb. But anyway, yeah, I hope that's useful real-world application. I mean, I guess the real question is am I going to buy Shimano XTR 12-speed and put it on my bike? Because I'm just borrowing this. And the answer for me is no. I'm not going to replace my XX1 SRAM drivetrain with XTR 12. So if I was going to buy a new bike and it was offered in both XTR 12-speed or SRAM Eagle XX1, which would I get? I'd probably still get SRAM. Yeah, that's the takeaway for me, is it might shift a little bit better under load when you're really cranking on those pedals and needing to shift, which again, ideally you do that before you shift before you need to crank on your pedals and find a different gear, but it's not always the case. So yeah, maybe it is a little bit better. I noticed it down there. But not enough that I'm going to replace what I currently have. I'm happy with what I have, but call the guys over at Salt Cycles, Sandy, Utah. They've got this stuff in stock that can help you out and answer some of your questions. Most of the guys in the shop have ridden it. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Share it, like it, love it, whatever. Man, St. George, Utah. Pretty awesome down here. Let's try the clicks again.